It's never good to live in the past too long. As for the future, it doesn't seem so scary anymore. It can be whatever I want it to be. I'm Anthony, and I'm gonna take you through today's PF Go workout. We're gonna use a med ball for all of today's warm-up. If you don't have a med ball, you can use a plate, a single dumbbell, a kettlebell. You have a lot of options. Now, we're gonna start with up downs, deadlifts, and presses, again, all with the med ball. So up downs, hands go on that ball, you kick your feet back, right back in, and when you go to stand up, you're gonna stand up with that ball. Down, back, in, up. You guys should be really familiar with up downs. We're gonna make it just a little bit more fun with that med ball. Now, after you're done, we're gonna stand up for our last rep, and we have 10 med ball deadlifts. You wanna focus on sending the hips back, loading up the glutes and the hamstrings, and making sure your chest drops. It should involve some back and some hamstrings throughout the whole move. After your 10th rep, you're gonna bring that ball up to the front rack, and we have med ball presses. We're just gonna do strict overhead presses from here, hit the chest, and lock it out overhead. Good, relax. So what we'll do is we'll drop that ball, shake it out, take a break, and then we have 10, 10, and 10 all over again without putting that ball down. Now our second set of exercises, ground to overhead, squats, and push presses. These ground to overhead, you tap the ground just like a deadlift, you snap that ball up and overhead. You wanna keep it nice and close to your body as you go to make this move as efficient as possible. Now, we're gonna drop that ball down to your chest. You have 10 med ball squats. Holding that ball out just like a front squat, it should be right about the level of your chin. You should be able to see over the top of that med ball. Now we're gonna finish it out with 10 med ball push presses. You have a dip drive, and a dip drive. Good, relax. Now, what we want you to do that time is 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, all without putting that med ball down. So 60 reps without releasing that med ball. Should be fun. It'll get you nice and warmed up for today's workout. Now, the strength portion of today's workout is 15 minutes long. As many reps as possible in 15 minutes of single arm med ball bench presses. Bend over rows and band pull aparts. Now, we're gonna use this med ball as a bench. So you're gonna lay down on your back. We're gonna put that dumbbell on your hip, drive up into a bridge and press. So I like to put the other hand on my chest. Some people like to leave that arm hanging off the body in the bench press. Either way is fine with me. Lock out overhead for me. The dumbbell should be seated directly over top of the med ball, and your head, the bottom of your head, your neck, and your shoulder blades should be resting on that ball. We don't want your head hanging all the way off. You should be nice and straight from head to knee. So give me 2 more reps. As you can see, she lowers down to that dumbbell, touches the front of her shoulder, and then presses back out. Relax. So you have 9 on one side, then we'll switch the weight and do 9 on the other. If you don't like the med ball or you don't have something like it, you can do floor presses. We're just gonna double the reps. Now our second exercise is bent over rows. So we're gonna hold 1 dumbbell in each hand. We're gonna drop that chest down. The closer we can get to parallel to the floor, the better, hamstrings permitted. Have a nice flat back. You're gonna pull those dumbbells up to your chest, tap your shoulders, and lower back down. It's okay to have those weights a little bit off your body. We just wanna make sure we're getting maximum bicep and back involvement. Now our last exercise in this AMRAP is 25 unbroken pull-aparts. This is gonna be the hard part. So Erica's holding with her palms down. We want those arms locked out. Can you face the back for me? Most of the motion comes right between the shoulder blades. That's where the arms are being forced to move. We're not using anything else. You wanna squeeze those shoulders down as well as back to really emphasize the muscles that we're going for. Now, when we talk about pacing and rest, we want you to rest just enough so that you can do 9 unbroken, or you can do that full set unbroken of the bent over rows or the pull aparts. So what we're looking at is 20 to 40 seconds of rest, depending on how heavy you want to be. But our goal here is to be as heavy as possible while still allowing you to go unbroken. After your 15 minutes of strength, we're going to move on to our workout. We have a classic, simple workout. We have every 3 minutes for 5 rounds, so 15 minutes, of 25 hand release push-ups. Now, we're gonna start this on the knees. That's gonna be variation number 1. Chest drops down to the floor. You pinch those shoulder blades together and press back up. So you wanna lower down, pick those hands up and press. Your palm should stay facing the floor the whole time. Just like those pull-aparts, the only motion happens at the shoulders. Good, relax. So you have 5 sets of 25 hand release push-ups. We want you to pick a variation that you can complete them all for 5 times or at least for 4. without having to get cut off. Now the way that this workout works is you have 25 reps, then in the remaining time, as many double leg glute bridges as possible. So she finishes her 25 push-ups, she's gonna roll over onto her back. Now, before we do any reps, I want you to put your arms in a field goal position. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. What we're doing is we're loosening up the pecs. They're gonna be very tight from doing those presses. So I just like to put them here to reset your chest to get you ready for the next set. Now, hips come up, nice and high, and you drop them right back down. For sake of not sprinting through glute bridges, you can go down and up as quick as you want, but we want a little pause at the top. Do a couple fast for me. Tap drive, right? That little pause at the top just makes sure that you hit the rep to completion. You'll probably not be breathing that heavy, but your arms are gonna be really tired, and that's a-okay. If the push-ups start to bug you, we can do an incline press, or you can use the dumbbells to do some floor presses to make all your reps count. Now on to our nutrition question of the day. What is your go-to lunch meal? Try to balance your plate with a source of protein, carbs, and healthy fat on each meal. We like using the plate method because it makes sure that your macros stay nice and balanced. Now try to use 3 compartment containers when you do your meal prep to help keep you organized throughout. Some people are section eaters. If you want to eat one piece of food at a time, we'll start with protein, then we'll go to your veggies, then we'll go to your starchy carbohydrates. So one thing to remember, salads might not always be the best option if they're loaded with extra fats from dressings. So what we like to do is use vinegars as dressings, things without sugar. There's also 0-calorie dressings. You can use regular dressings, but just be aware because they can easily ramp up calories really quickly. Now, the trick for your veggies is to load up on non-starchy vegetables. So an example of a starchy vegetable would be a potato or a zucchini or a squash. They have a lot of calories in them, and that's okay, but we want to make sure you get some volume foods like broccoli, carrots, green beans, or asparagus that contain a lot of nutrients and are light on calories so you can eat a lot of them. We'd love to hear what your go-to lunch meal is. Let us know in the comments. Have a great workout and a great rest of your day.